necessary. But you're gonna mention some songs and look at some lyrics.
Yeah, I
These
just
are popular.
want to. I'll compare and contrast a hymn and a modern day contemporary song. Maybe it might be
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Is that too long?
No.
And I think I'll try to figure out why that is. We'll talk about why that is. But I think it has something to do with the statistics you read.
Mm.
But some of you might know the song "Who You Say I Am," Hillsong. Who am I that the highest king would
Uh-oh.
welcome me?
Come on now, you're about to make people mad.
And that all sounds good, right?
Mhm.
You know, that sounds like reverence for God. Who am I? Just like Israel's song, "Who am I that you are mindful of me?" That's in
Israel.
I mean that song, the verse.
Oh, Proverb. I'm sorry, Psalm 8.
Yeah. Who am I that the highest king will welcome me? Basically, the song is it's the chorus says, "Whom the Son sets free is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am." These new contemporary songs speak Christianese, right? They say all the things about, like they mention attributes of God.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much about who he is,
Mhm.
but kind of what he's done.
Mhm.
I remember like songs like Richard Smallwood when he used to ad lib songs. He used to say things like,
"Worship the Lord."
Yeah.
He was worshiping. Yeah.
"Worship the Lord, not for what he's done, but for who he is."
Yeah, yeah.
It's the opposite now. We
It's the
worship from
opposite.
what he's done.
That's exactly right.
And we don't, because we don't know who he is.
Who
Right.
we
Who
are.
we are.
Yeah.
Because
Who
of
we
what
are.
he's done.
Yeah.
And that's worship, worthy of worship. But and you know, that's the chorus says, I mean the bridge in that song, "Who You Say I Am," says, I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. And earlier you mentioned like a lot of these songs don't really speak to the truth of what these people need in a song.
Mhm.
And I would kind of disagree.
Yeah.
Because I think they only speak to their struggle.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a placebo.
Right.
It doesn't point them to the solution.
Mhm.
It just gives you some comfort in that emotional moment to say, I am who you say I am. The song doesn't say who you say you are.
Mhm.
You know, it just I am who you say I am. And it also doesn't acknowledge who's saying it. It doesn't even mention Jesus.
Yeah. Can I just read one thing real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, because this is why it's insufficient. That
Right.
statement, "I am who you say I am." One, who are you talking about?
All right.
You talking about what God says we are?
Mhm.
All right. "And you were dead in your trespasses and sins, in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, among whom we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, like the rest of mankind.
Yeah.
But God, being rich in mercy," it goes on to say. And so the point I'm trying to highlight is that a lot of the kind of affirmation based,
Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
it's meant to build self-esteem because you have a low view of yourself. And so
Right.
it's like, I am who you say, but you still don't even know what
It's
God is
meant
saying
for
you
this
are.
depression culture.
Yeah. You
But
don't
for
know
the
what God
mature
says.
Christian, it's insufficient.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Duh. But let's worship God here.
Right.
And now I just want to contrast that with a hymn. Save some time. I had some other songs.
Mm-hmm.
But Amazing Grace. You mentioned Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first verse or stanza. It says, "Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see." I think that's a chorus actually.
Mm-hmm.
The way the song's written, it's crazy. Got like 6 verses, but
that is the chorus.
it says, "'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed." Now, this is scriptural. And you know what? And like I said, I think that the authors of these songs read their Bibles.
Yeah. More specifically, you know who Dick Gregory is?
No,
Dick Gregory is an old comedian.
I wasn't on the camera ever.
Yeah, you weren't. Now you just took me off.
Well.
If you want to help produce,
Got me doing all of it.
Black and Blurred. He was a comedian, woke dude, woke before woke was woke though, and he was on an interview and he was talking about Amazing Grace, and what he was enlightening the listeners of the interview of the radio show with is he said, "Do you know that the author of Amazing Grace was written by a slave owner?"
That's amazing.
And that was his argument
Yeah,
for
that
why
was his-
people should stop even believing these Christians. They're lying to you. They're hypocrites and everything else. It's like, nah, man. They're disgusting sinners who have been saved by the grace of God.
Right.
Yes, he was a
Right.
slave owner, turned abolitionist, son of the Most High God.
Right.
By grace.
Yeah. I mean, like what I was saying was I noticed that a lot of these songs kind of echo the same lyrics. They all use the same words and phrasing.
The modern songs,
the contemporary songs, and a lot of that is because we have a bunch of Christians that they don't want to reject and they don't want to be rejected. So they have all of these surface level words that nobody can really disagree with. It's surface level. You can't. It's not a truth claim.
Yeah. Oh man.
They don't make any truth claims in their songs, and so
oh my goodness,
it only affirms emotions and feelings. And so now you talk about the stat you read.
Yeah,
it started off the older they get, or there was what was it? I guess the less controversial the topic, the more people agreed upon it.
Right.
And so now we're in a world where it's everything's controversial. Everything is right here.
Yeah.
And so these songs are so surface level that they don't even scratch the surface of the faith.
Yeah.
And once again, I truly believe that a lot of these new people don't have accountability people to say, hey, what scripture was this based on? Or what do you mean by this?
Yeah.
Or maybe they do and just go, hey, let's scratch that out and put this here because, we got this Joel Osteen church where we got Hindu people here. We got this people and we don't want to offend anybody.
Man.
So it's all just fluff.
Right. And yeah, I mean, was that it? I don't want to
I didn't want to. I have more songs, but that's it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll make
we can do a separate. Yeah.
But here's the point. The point isn't for you to be a better Christian. The point is there's a point to Christianity. It's the claim. It's the truth claim itself that God made the world and everything in it. And that we as rebellious sinners oppose him and deserve his cosmic justice. That's the point. But he who is rich in mercy sent his son to die like a cosmic rebel. Like a cosmic rebel. His perfect and righteous son died like the cosmic rebel so that the cosmic rebel, when trusting in the perfect and righteous son, becomes a perfect and righteous son or daughter. That's scandalous. And we rejoice in that and we worship God for who he is. He's the one who did that. So when our songs don't represent that God, you don't represent that truth. And we, as Christians, worship in spirit and in truth. And also our songs of worship are modes of discipleship. They're methods of discipleship. And so this culture that is very self-centered, it's very self-conscious, it's very self-pleasing, it's self-indulging, it's seeking pleasure, it's seeking dopamine. Either we provide them with the bread of life that is sufficient beyond measure as revealed in scripture, or we perpetuate this self-centered, self-seeking, self-pleasuring society that's looking only for a pornographic image of worship rather than the true living king that ought to be worshiped by us. So